What if happiness wasn't something elusive, something we chase but never quite catch? What if it was right here within our reach, waiting for us to unlock it? Could we really control how happy we are? In today's fast-paced world, happiness often feels like a distant goal. And yet, for centuries, philosophers and scientists have been asking the same question. What makes us happy? Can it truly influence our own happiness, or is it simply something that happens to us? Aristotle believed that happiness was the ultimate goal of human life, a state we could achieve through virtuous living. But in recent years, psychology has taken the age-old question and examined it with a modern lens. It was in the late 1990s when the field of positive psychology emerged, spearheaded by psychologist Martin Seligman. Seligman shifted the focus of psychology from simply treating mental illness to promoting well-being. He asked a radical question: instead of only fixing what's wrong, how can we help people flourish? The science of happiness has led researchers to fascinating discovery. We all have something called a happiness set point. Imagine it like a thermostat in your brain. No matter what happens, whether you win the lottery or suffer a major loss, your happiness will eventually return to this baseline level. But what determines this set point? Studies suggest that 50% of our happiness is influenced by genetics, something we are born with, much like our eye color or height. So does that mean happiness is predetermined? Not entirely. Scientists have found that about 40% of our happiness is within our control. That means nearly half of our well-being is determined by the choice we make and the habits we build. So what does that look like in our daily lives? It turns out some of the most effective ways to boost happiness are simpler than we might think. Let's start with gratitude. Practicing gratitude regularly isn't just about being polite or saying thank you. It actually changes the way our brain functions. Neuroscientists have found that when we focus on things we are grateful for, we activate regions of the brain associated with reward and pleasure, particularly the release of dopamine, often called the feel-good neurotransmitter. In one well-known study, researchers asked participants to keep a gratitude journal, writing down just a few things they were thankful for each day. After just 10 weeks, those who practiced gratitude felt significantly happier and healthier compared to those who didn't. Gratitude helps us refocus our minds, training our brains to look for the positive, no matter how small. Over time, this simple practice has been shown to boost long-term happiness. Another key factor in controlling our happiness: relationships. The Harvard study of adult development, one of the longest running studies on human happiness, offers a clear answer. More than wealth, fame, or success, it's the quality of our relationships that predicts how happy we will be in the long run. People who are deeply connected to others, whether through family, friends, or community, report being happier and healthier. It's not just about the number of relationships we have, but the depth of connection. People who feel supported, who can be vulnerable and authentic with others, are the ones who experience the greatest sense of well-being. In our world of constant distractions, there is one practice that helps us slow down and find joy in the present moment: mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of paying attention to the here and now, without judgment. Whether it's through meditation or simply taking time to notice the world around us, mindfulness teaches us to quiet the mental chatter that often leads to stress and unhappiness. Studies have shown that people who regularly practice mindfulness experience lower level of stress and greater emotional well-being. By focusing on the present, we can free ourselves from the regrets of the past and the worries of the future. And that simple shift can profoundly influence our happiness. Have you ever been so absorbed in an activity that time seems to disappear? That's called flow. Flow is the state of being completely engaged in a task, whether it's writing, painting, solving a problem, or even playing a sport. When we experience flow, we are fully in the moment, and the result is a deep sense of fulfillment. Research shows that people who regularly enter a flow state tend to be happier and more satisfied with life. The more often we find ourselves in the state of flow, the more we experience joy, not just from the outcome but from the process itself. So, can we really control our happiness? The answer is yes, at least to a large degree. While genetics and life circumstances play a role, the science is clear. By practicing gratitude, nurturing relationships, living mindfully, and seeking out moments of flow, we can take significant steps towards shaping our own happiness. It's not about waiting for life to hand us joy, but about creating it ourselves through the choices we make every day. Happiness, it turns out, isn't just something that happens to us. It's something we can choose to build moment by moment.